3 years ago, I set out to construct the most powerful nootropic stack for focus, motivation, and sheer cognitive horsepower. I logged hundreds of hours, sampled endless amounts of cognitive performance chemicals, and ran beta tests with soldiers from the United States Army. And after massive experimentation and ruthless trial and error, my work had finally paid off. I found what I was looking for. Boom, the mighty Cortex stack. For those of you who haven't tried the Cortex stack, snag a bottle at livecortex.com. You will love it if you respond well to uridine and CTP choline, and most people do. I was talking to a professor at a major university in America who constantly buys bottles, and I emailed him and I was just like, hey man, what do you think of the stack? I see you keep buying bottles of the stack. And he goes, I achieved a clarity with Cortex. And I attribute this directly to uridine and CDP choline as a combination. They work on dopamine, they work on acetylcholine, they work on neurite outgrowth, cellular repair and regeneration. He takes the stack with a B vitamin, and that's very reparative, of brain function and even fosters neurogenesis according to some research. And he's like, dude, I miss the clarity if I go off of it. He's like, I found a clarity again that I don't want to lose. He's older. And he's a college professor, so he's like always using his brain. And he's like, I found a clarity of thinking and a clarity of brain performance that I don't want to not have anymore. So he keeps buying the stack. And so secure bottle at livecortex.com, and we made the stack with that in mind. I have been fascinated with the racetams, Alcar, alpha GPC, CDP choline, a few others for new pep for a long time, because I'm like, I don't know. It was just one of those things that caught my eye, taking nootropics. My brain worked better. It made me perform better. It was not questionable. It wasn't placebo. And so we tried to make a stack that did that when you took it, you knew your brain was working better. You weren't just amped up, It's stimulating, but your brain works better, and you know that it works better, and you appreciate it. Secure bottle at livecortex.com. You'll love it. We're coming out with two new stacks. It'll take a while, a couple years probably. But 2 new stacks. The names are going to be awesome. I already thought about the names. It's going to be great. Be Cortex, Thing, and Thing. 2 other stacks are going to be great. But what we're going to talk about is essentially the opposite of taking nootropics, and that is giving the nervous system a rest. I've been following some functional medicine doctors' content on YouTube, and they're just really insightful guys. They are just YouTube. If you're interested in, if you guys are interested, just YouTube. Martin Rutherford and Dr. Gates. Dr. Gates and Rutherford, Rutherford, Rutherford. Dr. Gates and Rutherford, and watch all their talks. They just talk about all this stuff around functional medicine. So the knowledge that they're putting out is, I don't know. I like to learn via video. I'm better learning that way, and so it's a lot of information, and it's very enlightening. So in paying attention to them, they have a practice in which people come in for fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, a bunch of different things, chronic diseases, mostly chronic pain, but chronic fatigue and other things also, thyroid issues, other issues. And how every one of their patients, they talk about stress as being a major factor of that person's problem. And maybe not a contributing factor, but a contributing factor to them not healing. Like they're doing their gut protocol to get the person's gut right, and they're not responding to it very well. But then they give they put the person on a meditation protocol or an otherwise stress protocol, tell them to stop drinking caffeine for a month, and then they fix their gut problems finally, right? So it's this invisible thing, stress and ongoing central nervous system stimulation, overstimulation, overdrive. And so it's hard to quantify it, and it's hard to say, yeah, this correlates with disease, but there are quantifiable studies on stress and like dying. It's like one of the stronger causes of eventual death for lots of people in America, and that's a scary thing. And so I think one of the things that can help you tone down stress for a month, and this is all I'm saying, I go on month stints, about a month or two, where I won't, I'll drink 1 small cup of coffee in the morning, and that's it. I won't take any nootropics, I won't drink any energy drinks, I won't do anything like that. I'll try to sleep a lot. And in those months, and overall, I think it's just important to do that to yourself, because you can really come back to a pretty significant balance in a pretty good state and get a lot more energy and be a lot more energized and renewed and restored from stress and be a lot less stressed. You're slower when you're communicating with people, which is a good thing. You can still function good because you sleep while your brain works good. Like, I mean, this is where I'm at today. I haven't had any nootropics for, a couple weeks. I'm in one of those modes right now. I'll start taking nootropics again probably in 2 weeks. But I mean, I'm sleeping relatively well most nights. Some nights I have some issues, but I mean, I slept good last night. I mean, so I'm functioning great today. I mean, look at me, right? I'm fine, but I'm not missing the energy in the room. In some instances, like, folks will talk to me, they're like, "Wow, you're 100 miles per hour above me right now. I'm just trying to figure out what you just said." And so I mean, now I'm in tune with more people, and I'm able to appreciate when you're toned down in that state and the central nervous system is toned down. You can appreciate things more. That's where creativity comes from, like, not thinking. That's where mindfulness, you can do well in mindfulness. Mindfulness is, man, it's hard to do when you're stressed. It's hard to do when you're amped up. It's almost impossible. You can try to sit there and meditate and try to get mindful, but it won't work sometimes. Your nervous system is too stimulated. Mindfulness is very powerful. One of the best ways to be mindful of what's going on is just like take enjoyment in the moment. I know it sounds corny, but I mean, it's so important. You'll get there. I mean, if it sounds dumb, you will get too straight. Eventually, and you're stressed, you'll eventually appreciate it. But I know folks who watch these videos are super evolved and biohackers and all this kind of stuff, so you guys get it. Critically important. So again, I'm not saying, don't take any of this stuff. I'm saying I take 1 month breaks from large doses of caffeine because I normally drink 3 cups a day. Now I'm drinking a small cup. And nootropics just to get that just to tame down my nervous system. Because I have noticed with long, like 6 month or more continuous stints of nootropic and caffeine use that I can get overstimulated and then nothing is fun anymore. I'm just snappy and weird and it's not good. I don't sleep as well and all these sorts of things. So I think the resets are critically important. It's an ebb and flow cycle. It's a part of the cycle of taking nootropics. I've always been of the position, we as a commercial nootropics company that makes the Cortex stack want to be responsible to talk about, and I've always been of the position that cycling and proper cycling is important. Right, that these aren't things that, you could take nootropics every day of your life all the time, but it depends on what you want. Do you want to be able to relax sometimes? Do you want to be able to tone down the nervous system sometimes? And if so, cycling off for a bit of everything and just giving your nervous system some time to not be in go mode is a great thing. It's just like sleeping. You can't be up in go mode all the time. You're gonna burn out, and I have burned out several dozen times, perhaps even more over my time as an entrepreneur. And so it's not fun. And in those burnout periods, I really can't be taking nootropics. It's not good for me during those times, or drinking a lot of caffeine, or drinking energy drink, Red Bull, taurine, any of that stuff, tyrosine, any of that stuff. It's just not good. It's just not better for the mode of restoration and recovery. Like when I go to the beach for a week or something to take a vacation, I'm not taking nootropics, and that's just what I'm talking about. It's important to get that recovery. But then when you get back and you're good and you're recharged and you feel good and your nervous system is tamed and you're good and you're ready to go and you've got work to do, crank up the modafinil, crank up the Cortex, crank up the Alcar, and have at it. Thanks for watching.